Hi everybody, how are you doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. And I want to kind of get jumping in this because I am now very far ahead of the game. And I want to get into this as much as I can, get you as much information I can in the time that I have, and also give you my opinions and thoughts. Again, I hope if you're watching this video, for your sake and mine and every other good person in this world, including your loved ones, family, friends, and so on, that you pay attention, you try to, I'm going to try to say this, get that cognizant dissonance out of your head, which is like denial, and wake up and see the truth of what is going on here. Look back in history. Look at the lies, look at the real history and the truth, and listen to the people who have studied and went and got degrees on looking at ancient documents and letters and etc. and know what these things say, and now have found proof and put pieces together for you to know the full story. It can no longer be called a conspiracy theory because now behind the truth there is facts. Facts people have studied for months on end to make sure you got the facts that prove the truth we've been telling you for God knows how long. And again, I didn't study this. I didn't even talk about this as a child, but I knew what was going on. I've said it for years, and I have many people who can tell you that I've said this for years. I'm not just saying it today to make myself sound like I'm ahead of the game. I've been telling people this for years. Everything that I've found out, that I've read, that I've seen in this documentary and throughout the last couple years, I have already said since I was a child. And I don't know why. So if you have went through the same thing, felt the same way, please join and subscribe and talk to me about it, because right now I feel so alone on this. I do know people throughout, growing up and, looking into things, they've seen it, but for some reason I've always had this feeling. And I always said something wasn't right. And I always said the guy in that White House in that chair is never going to help you. They promise you, and it's lie after lie after lie, and etc. And I've went through several of them throughout my videos, so you can go back and see if you haven't already. So please, this is for your own good. Join me. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's see what our next step is, and let's do it together. And let's discuss it together. Let's figure out, like I said, what we can do to now make the changes that need to be made. We have help. We need each other. And no matter what the news says to stir up a new divide, do not listen. Do not fall for the trickery of evil and the fake news. They only put things out there to cause issues, to cause the American, and not only just the American, people all over the world in every country, to divide. It goes back to the old saying, divide and conquer. United we stand, divided we fall is my saying. I've been saying it on here since I opened my channel. And that's in every situation. People need to unite. Look out for one another. Take care of one another. Because if we don't do it together, you will fall. And all of us have to play a role to keep each other safe. You cannot do it on your own. You cannot do it if you allow them to divide you. It's about standing together. And they've divided us from the beginning of time for their own evil, selfish reasons, and what they wanted to do and make out of this life and world for themselves. Selfishness, control, power, dominance, all the evil things you can think of, money, power, control. Those are what these people wanted. There is no reason for all that besides evil, greed, and a lust for power and control. And we are good people. We just want to live. And I'm going to tell you something else before I get started here. Just like throughout all this time, no matter what they promise you, just like it's never happened, you've never gotten it, you never will. You got your hope hung on this, oh, the next guy who gets in there. Oh, this person's going to change it for us. Well, they tell us if we just do this, they're going to do that. They're never going to do it. I don't care what they promise. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they say, sign this paper and agree to everything and I'll give you freaking paradise. It's a lie. It's evil trickery. They are never going to give you peace. They are never going to give you happiness. They are never going to give you your freedom. And if you agree to anything, that's the day you will give your freedom and everything behind it away, the right to yourself, your family, your loved ones, anybody connected to you, and not connected to you. You will give it all away by agreeing to anything with these people. Again, one more time. It's all lies and trickery. Please come discuss it with me. Join my channel. Subscribe. We need to talk about this. We need to figure it out. Whether you believe or not, come talk about it. If you have just a little bit of thought that it could be true, come talk about it. If you have no doubts that it's true, come talk about it. If you feel there's no way it is true, come talk about it. Let me get inside your head. Let me tell you some things you didn't know before. Follow my sequels that I'm following along with. Watch. And if not, go watch the real sequel, not just what I'm following along with. I like the fact that you can go watch it, the real one, and then come back and go over the notes and discuss it with me. Because then at least we can talk about it together. Sorry, I got so much air. And we can discuss things and, again, figure out what our next step is. Because agreeing to anything with these people is basically signing your death warrant. And it's not going to be just a quick death. For the lucky ones, it will be. And for others, it won't be. You will be some kind of disgusting play toy where they torture you and do all kinds of things to you. And then maybe put you out of your misery if you don't just go ahead and fade away in between. Do not believe these demons. And that's what they really are. They're followers of Satan and they're demons. And they are evil, evil, evil beings. And what do? They lie, they manipulate, they play games, and they trick people. And they've been doing it for a very long time, since the beginning of time, and they will continue to, as long as people allow it. The main plan is not to allow this anymore. And they got to be taken from any power that they have. So So let's get into this. Let's pick up where, sorry, got an itch, where we left off yesterday. I'm going to start right in front of where we left off so you can kind of grasp where we were at, and then go into the next part. Okay, so we were talking about Hitler and who he was, that he didn't just come out of nowhere into his history. We know he's got to be a Rothschild. It was counted down to the time that his, I believe, grandmother was working for a Rothschild and got pregnant. And if you add up the dates or minus the 9 months, she was there, he was there, and had to be somebody powerful, because she would never speak about it till the day she died. He would never claim the child. So Hitler has the Rothschild blood running through his veins, which, again, people had thought and accused him, because he had the Jewish blood, that he was a traitor and he murdered and slaughtered and destroyed areas and whatever he could to keep his secrets. He also told a nephew. People may never know. Oh, here, I got it right here. It's kind of where I left off. He told his nephew, William Patrick Hitler, these people must not know who I am. You must not know where I come from or which family. He also inherited the Rothschild money about the time he changed his name, which we believe they wouldn't give him his inheritance until he changed the name to kind of cut all ties from his history. And then he, like I said, killed anybody who could tell you or might have been able to tell you, and burnt down areas to destroy or I don't know if he destroyed, didn't go into detail, but he destroyed the areas that anyone lived in at that time that could have told anybody anything. So if there was a witness, of course they would have been taken out. So that's basically where we left off. And now we will go into the next part. Okay. Now, I just want to check some notes that I wrote to myself to make sure I didn't go with this part. We saw in a previous series in part 5, which was the original series, not the sequel. In part 5, how James, Alefantis, I hope I know how to say it, and God knows I'm going to screw up on it. Alefantis Rothschild. That's another thing I want to bring up real quick because we're right here. So, also that the cabal uses who they can, when they can, and they will even pull illegitimate children to the front to do their dirty work. So, as they did, were proven that they did with Hitler, they also did it with James Alefantis. And I think it's Elefante is how they say it, but whatever. So how they showed you in part 5 was the Pizzagate, how he was pulled forward to do what he did for the elite, and had the place where the elite could go do their evil doings and so forth. I can't talk about that on here. You will have to, again, look into Pizzagate or go watch part 5 of the original Cabal. So, as you've seen, they did it with Hitler. You've seen it done with James Alefantis Rothschild, or Alefantis, however you say it. And so I'm going to go into reading here. Again, how the illegitimate James Alefantis or Alefantis Rothschild was pushed forward by the family to play a very important part in the U.S. elite for the U.S. elites in Pizzagate. Well, okay. That's how it's spelled. I'm gonna say Adolf Hitler was pushed forward the same way. Was pushed forward the same way to influence the outcome of yet another cabal war. So as James did it for Pizzagate, Hitler did it for them to be pushed forward for another cabal war. Okay, Hitler was a great admirer of the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius. I want to make sure I try to say it right. Ignatius of Loyola. Again, the birth and death date was 1491 to 1556. He said, "I learned much from the order of the Jesuits. Until now, there has never been anything more grandiose on the earth than the heretical organization of the Catholic Church. I transferred much of this organization into my own party." Adolf Hitler. It's one of his sayings in 1939. Hitler called, okay, let's see if I say this right, Heinrich Himmler, the inventor and the organizer of the Holocaust. I see Himmler as an Ignatius, is that how you say it? You know, I hate when I can say something, like I said before, I get on this camera, and then all of a sudden, it's got to be like a mind trick that your brain just makes you like shut down. I don't know, or makes you so shy, because you do get camera shy, and you do like feel like, I don't know, weird on here sometimes. So to me, I think it's like a mental block. So I'm sorry if sometimes I stutter or stumble, but again, I am who I am, just like you are who you are. And I hope everybody out there is loved for who they are. And I hope people accept me for who I am. Ignatius of Loyola. Adolf Hitler. Labrice Peros in 1952, page 164. It's a book. If you want to look it up, I'm going to tell you the spelling, just in case you do want to do your own research. You can. Libres space Propos. The date is 1952 and the page is 164. The SS organization has been constituted by Himmler according to the principles of the Jesuit order, their regulations, and the spiritual exercises prescribed by Ignatius. I think it's Ignatius. I got it. Ignatius of Loyola were the modern Himmler. Tried to copy, exactly Himmler's title as Supreme Chief of the SS was to be the equivalent of the Jesuit general. So he tried to be exactly like the Jesuit general. He wanted to follow the exact, degrees and ways and learnings. And the whole structure and direction was a close imitation of the Catholic Church's hierarchical, that one's hard to say, order. Absolute obedience was the supreme rule. Every order had to be executed without comment. Walter Schellenberg, former chief of German counter-espionage. Hitler presented himself as the solution to all problems. He offered jobs in the war and in the weapons industry. He got rid of everyone he blamed for Germany's problems: the Jews, the gypsies, the communists, the disabled, the homosexuals, and he confiscated all of their money. Hitler was supported by a higher efficient propaganda machine led by SS Joseph Goebbels, 1897 to 1945. That brainwashed the German people into believing that Hitler was some sort of messiah and that the Jews were the cause of all evil. We all know what happened next. 85 million people died in World War II. But the cabal wasn't done just yet. As you might know, in the aftermath of World War II, hundreds of thousands of Jews immigrated to the Promised Land of Israel. But did you know this migration had already been planned by the cabal in 1917? 22 years before World War II even started. Philistine was given away literally by Arthur James Balfour, 1848 to 1930. Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom on the behalf of the British government, as if nothing more than a chess piece. A country with inhabitants was just given away to guess who? Lord Lionel Walters Rothschild, 1868 to 1937. But wait a minute. 1917? The First World War had not even ended yet. So how on earth could they be talking about a home for the Jews? And excuse me, because this is driving me crazy. There goes the lip gloss packing up. Now I just have to keep drinking so that they don't stick together. Okay. So how on earth could they be talking about a home for the Jews? The Jewish genocide had not even started yet. We are talking about the Balfour Declaration, signed by Balfour himself on the 2nd of November in 1917. Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zion aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government views with favor the establishment in Palestine of national home for the Jews, for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievements of this object. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may produce the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities, the Palestine, or the right and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the acknowledge of the Zionist Federation. Signed, Arthur James Balfour. Are you kidding me? Okay. Neither the Jew nor the Palestinians knew about this. It yet was just another blatant move. Brilliant move. I forgot the R. It was just another brilliant move, like chess pieces by the cabal. What was presented like a benign actor in the favor of the Jews was once again a divide and conquer. Let me say that again. It yet was another brilliant move like chess pieces by the cabal. What was presented like a benign action in the favor of the Jews was once again a divide and conquer strategy that could only end in yet again another war. Does anybody see anything that you can say is like an aha moment, or oh my God, I get it, or it's something that you knew, seen, or realized? Because again, you're seeing it happen again and again and again. And the games and the manipulations and the lies, and they're always planning ahead of the game. So they are, even though I hate to admit it and say it, they were, and I don't know how good they are now, but they were quite brilliant in the planning and steps that they did behind the scenes and planning for the future of this. And we know that's still done to this day. And we know who's running things, who the puppets are, and just the people who are awake and know what's going on and understand. We know what we need to do. We just need you guys that don't see it to see the light. And if you really go back and look and research and study and watch the documentaries, you will see it for yourself. There's no way you can't. Unless you just want to be in denial. And that would be a very sad day for you. And again, anybody that can be touched by it. These poor people. These poor people. It's very sad. Okay, which this time was between, of course, the Jews and the Palestinians. The Jewish people were willingly and knowingly murdered 22 years after the Balfour Declaration was signed. Why? Because the Rothschilds and all the other cabal families had one focus: Jerusalem. It is not by chance that so many family members have Solomon in their names. The Temple of Solomon's, the Temple Mount, and therefore the land of Israel was their main priority. We will soon tell you why and tell you their deepest and darkest secrets. For now, millions of Jewish people were sacrificed in order to get there. Millions. And millions more to follow through all these years in fake wars and playing chess pieces and moving the pieces and pushing the people and the pawns around and using us as nothing but a game for their enjoyment. When are you guys going to wake up and say enough is enough and this has to stop? It's disgusting. It's heartbreaking. It's beyond words. It really is. It's beyond words. And that anybody could be okay with allowing it to continue. When we have options. We have options. And we have people that are willing to work with us. And we have people who are working with us. And we have people in higher positions now that can help us. So why not take the help and finally set us and America and all the other countries free of these demons? These evil demons. Why? Why not? And the only way you can do it is to wake up, realize the truth, realize you've been brainwashed and fed a whole lot of hogwash your whole life, okay? And it's not far-fetched. It's not. And you can see it throughout all this history, how it played over and over and over again. And how you can see that every president makes promises that they can't and don't and won't keep. You can't tell me not one of those presidents didn't try or want to, because they can't all be bad people. But the ones who didn't live long. This goes way back to what happened to this person, what happened to that person. Well, you guys have a rude awakening and a surprise coming, I'm telling you. And especially the ones who don't believe, you're really your mind's just gonna blow. Your head might fall off. I don't know. But you can't not face reality when it's looking right back at you. And it's gonna happen where you can't ignore it. I promise you that. It's coming. I watched the news last night. Even though a lot of it is fake, what we said, that things were going to start coming out, you're starting to see it. And I was ecstatic. Not just, like I said, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 or 5 days ago when I said something else had came out that, was admitted about some numbers. I'll just say that much. That were wrong. And we all knew that. At least the ones who aren't in denial. And now there's, stuff coming out about a case and some, computer stuff and emails. And more is going to come out. And then you're not going to be able to deny it anymore. And it's going to slap you right in your face. And then you got to realize that you're going to have to do the right thing unless you want to end up in a very bad situation. And again, I hope you're still not too stubborn to see the truth and go along with it. Who knows? People are crazy nowadays. All right. For now, millions of Jewish people were sacrificed in order to get there. There were many more wars to follow, like the Vietnam War, the Cold War. All were instigated and financed on both sides by the cabal. That is how people across the world were kept in fear, paralyzed and poor, divided and subservient. Once you understand and see their strategy, you cannot unsee it. Again, the same stuff they're still doing to us today. They keep you in fear. Either somebody's going to come after you, the government's going to do something to you, they're going to put you in jail, they're going to imprison you, they're going to kill you, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to tie you up and ruin your record with the law, they're going to set you up, they're going to keep you poor, they're not going to help you, to get anywhere in life because they're too busy trying to keep you poor. And making sure if they raise the money, they raise the products. And what about this toilet paper? How the hell is toilet paper so freaking expensive? Can anybody tell me that? If you can make any sense out of that, then maybe I'll change my mind. And honestly, I couldn't, because it wouldn't make no damn sense. For toilet paper to be like $20 for paper on a roll. It's price gouging. It's ripping you off. But it's a necessity that they know you will pay for. So you'll pay what you have to. Which is exactly what they do. It's in their book. It's in their plans. They keep you poor by, if they raise your money, they raise the expenses to the necessities. Whether it's food, toilet paper, clothing, etc. So you're never really going to get ahead. You get $1 more in your paycheck and $3 more the toilet paper costs. Which is really a lot more than that. Freaking toilet paper used to cost $3 or $4. Now $15 to $20. Are you freaking kidding me? Again, for toilet paper on a roll. And I'm going to keep going because I'm going to run out of time. So let me get back to this. But my point's proven. Okay. Once you understand and see their strategy, you cannot unsee it. But the worst was yet to come, for the times were changing, and the cabal adapted. As the times were changing, the cabal adapted. Or cabal, I always say cabal, I don't know why. Cabal. Adapted their strategies as time went along. So as things differ, as time goes, they still adapt their strategies to fit the times of today. They know how to manipulate and play the game. They've been doing it for centuries. Okay. Key words in their everlasting plan to conquer the world: hatred, revenge, disdain. These three words perfectly combined in one document: the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. Again, the three words perfectly combined in one document: the protocols of the learned elders of Zion. Now, again, do any of those three words seem like they want happiness for us, or peace, or anything positive? No. Because it's not true. Again, it's another lie. Lie. To get you to believe that there might or could be change, which is one of their strategies. So that you will give in, hoping that eventually they will finally give you what you want. But it's never going to come. No matter if you agree or don't agree, it's never going to come. They're never going to give you anything. But we can unite and take back what is ours and stop them. And that's really where we need to be. I'm going to try to get through the recap before my time runs out. And then I'm going to pick up on the protocols tomorrow. Recap. All wars were instigated by the cabal. Everything was planned. Every pawn necessary was pushed forward to execute the evil plan of the cabal. The target was to make more money and obtain more power over the backs of the people who bled and died as nothing more than collateral damage. Very sad. By the time World War II had ended, millions of people had perished. Everyone who was different, everyone who spoke up, had been murdered. The ultimate scapegoat, the Jewish people, had been sacrificed willingly and knowingly in order to take control over Israel. From that moment on, the Zionists took over the Palestinian people who had lived in Israel since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, were subdued in yet another cabal war. The parallels between Nazi Germany and the current states of affair in many European countries are uncanny. Hitler started off with the Emergency Act, now in effect in most Europe countries. He then pushed through the Enabling Act, giving him complete control to become the dictator he was. Do you want to know and find out what else they had in store for us? Follow us to the next part, which would be part 4 in the sequel. Alright, guys. I'm going to start part 4 tomorrow. So, let's just talk for a few minutes. And I'm going to go over this last page too. Okay. So, by the time World War II had ended, millions of people had died and perished. Anyone who was different was murdered. Anyone who had spoke up or tried to stand up for themselves or anything, they were murdered. The Jewish people were sacrificed, not only willingly, but knowingly, in order for Israel to, in order to take control of Israel, for them to take control of Israel, which is absolutely sad and sickening. They had basically given up because it was probably easier than going through what they were put through, which is a horrible. The things I've seen working in my past, in a past company, I worked for some Jewish temples, and the things I seen there in pictures and books and history was just so sickening and saddening. I literally wanted to cry, and I do now thinking about it. It's just, that's just pure evil that any human being had to go through that. And these people are just as bad as their ancestors. I promise you. They are just as bad and just as sick and twisted as their ancestors. Don't ever think anything else. I promise you. The Palestinians, they too were just a pawn in this game. They lived peacefully in this place since the beginning of time. And the Jews had no option but to be pushed into their lands, and then they had to fight each other and basically killed each other off for the cabal. So the cabal don't even have to get their hands dirty. They just use them as pawns, like I said, chess pieces. And put whoever they want at war together as they sit back and watch safely. And this is what I've been saying about our soldiers today. Today. For many, many years, I've said our soldiers are out there fighting and dying for a fake cause. We are sending our loved ones out there to die for no reason. They are going to die for no reason, even though they think it's a reason. They think they're fighting for our country. They think they're making change. They think they're going to go over there and make this place better for us and safer. And it's all BS. Our people should not be signing up to go to war. Our people should not be going over there to die or come back screwed up from either physical or mental issues because they were sent over there to kill mainly innocent people who are being put in the same predicament they are to think that they're doing something good for their country. And they're both thinking they're doing it to better their lives for them and their families. And they're both being used as pawns in games and dying and getting hurt mentally or physically for no reason. No reason. Because there is no threat. The only threat is the cabal and the freaking puppets underneath them. And the puppets underneath them are not innocent puppets. They're puppets because they choose to be puppets. Let me get the rest of this lipstick off. Hold on. Sorry. They choose. They choose to be the puppets. Because they get what they want out of being the puppet. So don't think they're innocent puppets like I've said before. Like, oh, they have no clue. They have a clue. And they're practicing the same evil things that the cabal are practicing and doing. The disgusting, evil things they are all involved with. And it's going to come out soon. And the things you see, you're going to wish you never seen. I promise you. Everything else that I said was going to start showing signs has. And again, if you want to know more, email me, message me, because I can't tell you on here every little detail, because it'll take my video down. So I can only stay to certain situations and degrees on situations on here. But I'll be more than happy to talk with anybody. My email's on there. You could pull up my Facebook, which is also under my channel name. And message me. Message me. Or if you can't find it, email me and message. And I'll give you, email me and I'll send you my Facebook. And you can message me. Again, I hope people pay attention. I hope people will start using my videos to learn. I hope that you will join, subscribe, so that we can talk and we can start going somewhere with this besides just me on here trying to spread the word, because I want to build this group to help each other. This is about helping each other in what's going to be the fight of our lives. So please, please, please subscribe and let's talk about this. It's important. Very important. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Again, if I can, because I have to go run some errands. If I can, I will do another video tonight to try to double up for Monday. If I can't, I will be doing it Saturday because I have something I have to do Saturday. And it'll give me some time by myself before I have to go home. And I'll make an extra one on Saturday. So right now, we are heading into part 4. And we still have a long ways to go. But it's worth the journey, and it's worth learning, and I really enjoy doing this for you guys. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I really like to joke around, even through serious stuff, and have conversations and get off the beaten path sometimes just to de-stress. So again, I would love for anybody to join me, and let's start, building it where we could do some lives and start not just having to talk about the sad, horrible things, but enjoy ourselves as well. So there's more I want to do on this channel, but right now this is the most important thing. Once I get some lives going, there's so much I want to do, even just for fun, de-stressing, relaxation. Join me. Let's get it started. All right, guys. I am going to head out of here. I do care about everybody. I can be a really good friend, and I have I want to help anybody I can. That's just the type of person I am. So again, not just on here. If you need a friend, I can be your friend. I care and love everybody. So, if anybody ever needs to talk, you can, like I said, email me or message me, and I'll be more than happy to answer and try to help you. It's not all about, one thing on this channel. So know that you have a friend waiting in the wings. If you ever need anything, please reach out. All right, guys. I love you guys. Have a great night, and I will see you on my next video. God bless.